when you look back at teachers over, or any kind of instructor, but teacher in general over time, they were expected to be seers. Maybe they were people that were respected and looked forward to, and people were supposed to honor what they say. And as a teacher, I thought, wait a second, I don't think I'm that big of an expert on anything. And so a good teacher has something that they want to share, but it has to be, you have to be able to be offering it to people who want to learn it, but at the level and at the speed and at the angle that they want to learn it. And then all of a sudden you rise to the equation. When I started teaching, when I was teaching little kids, I realized after a few years nobody was the least bit interested in anything that I was teaching. We're talking about primary school. And when I had my own children who were just like, I'm never going to school again, you realize they hated it. And I'm taking them somewhere that somebody's doing just what I'm doing. And I just flipped over my whole idea of what you need to know. And I began to really waiting until the children showed up in my classroom, and then teaching them. I understand the standards and things and how you weave that in, what they were very interested in, that was current, or that was part of their lifestyle, or that came in from something that was going to elicit the passion in them. And then I rose to the occasion of having to go find the answers. And before the internet, this was not easy. But even now, when somebody asks you a question and you have a vague idea, that's when your creativity and your curiosity fires up. As a teacher, I want to ask that question. I want to ask it of myself. I want to go find out more. I want to make sure I can come back and share that information with my team or my students or the people that are taking my class, because that's learning. It's active. Learning is an active process, not a passive process. And even though online seems very passive, it doesn't have to be. And the way that you're setting up your classes here, it's so interactive, and you provide so many different ways to segue into the same ideas. The learner is far more in charge than the teacher. And that's kind of my point. A teacher may be a figurehead, but it's the learner that's going to draw the information from a well-designed class, or a teacher who understands the value of the information that they want to share with others.
That's magnificent. Now, you're designing a class that will go out here very soon based on what we were just talking about earlier. Right. Do you care to share a little bit of the outline? That
when we started looking together at the classes that you have offered, and the idea of the art of living from the heart, or what is a heart leader, I'm going to look at it differently than you looked at it, and that Austin looked at it, and other people, because we have a different perspective. And I always like to go back to the real basics of anything when you start, just to make sure that everybody is got their feet underneath them. And so the class I'm working on is how to manage your energy in your own best interest, whether you're a 2-year-old or a parent or in a relationship or in a business, because right now we all feel it, that things are tough on everybody, and we're so quick to anger, or so quick to lash out at people, and even more so unhappy with ourselves. And the whole weight of the world is on a lot of people right now. And so it's the simplest way possible to understand that if you don't manage your emotions are going to manage you. And lots of people don't know a lot about their emotions, and they also don't believe that they're that powerful, or that they have some control over it. So in the simplest way possible, if you begin to understand that your emotions are the plate, and when you understand that you can manage them by learning strategies, and you understand how they affect all the decisions that you make and what actually ends up in your life, I think that's a pretty place to start with anything. So I'm hopefully going to put something together that people who know a little bit might learn a little bit more, and people that need to be reminded of it, or have never understood the power of managing your own emotional energy, start that off, so we're all firmly planted in the choice that we have in managing ourselves.